Oh my God, what am I doing? Hello, this is Desi-Rae from Just Thinking Out Loud. Thank you for joining me today. So, I like to think, and I was thinking about a video that I had seen on YouTube where Omarosa was being interviewed on The View. And I was in particular thinking about this comment that was made from another woman to her saying that a lot of people were thinking that she was just a tool being used by the Trump administration, I guess, to show that there are Black people who support him. And I was really trying to understand, why is it that people make these statements towards other human beings, particularly if they are minorities in the United States? And why is it that they think that they cannot think for themselves? I think that there is a fundamental narcissism behind this, in thinking that just because you arrived at a certain conclusion based on your own experiences, and thinking that another person could not possibly have arrived at a different conclusion based on their own experience and thinking. I think it is especially venomous when it comes from someone who is also of your skin color, particularly for Black people in the United States, because they seem to reject you, and you can't control how you look. You can't control any of those things. You also, in some ways, can't control your personality and the way you think. You also can't control your upbringing and things that might influence your political views. So it is a rejection of not only that viewpoint, but it is a rejection of the self. It is a rejection of that person and who they are and the things that they stand for. Now, imagine this woman, Omarosa, who, by the way, I like, because I tend to like people who have bite and tell you what they think, and I like sass in people. I don't know how to show people that it's fine for someone else to have a different opinion than you. It doesn't mean that they're being used. It just means that they have an opinion. Why do they have to be a tool? Why can't they just have an opinion? What's wrong with that? For some reason, people think that you just can't think a certain way. And to me, that is mental slavery. That is trying to tell someone exactly the way that they should think and the way that their thoughts should go. And that's trying to have control over another person, because it makes you uncomfortable that they think differently from you and you think that they should represent you. But it's their body, it's their mind, it's their mouth, it's their tongue, it's their eyes and their ears. It's them. It belongs to them. You don't have ownership over those things. It's a rejection of their intellect. It's a rejection of their character. You know what? It's just really, bad word, rude. You are disrespecting another person's agency and fundamentally making their arguments invalid. I think to yourself, as in, by seeing them as a tool, you can automatically dismiss their opinion. You can now be at ease again, and the situation makes sense, because in your mind, that person couldn't possibly come to those conclusions independently. It is also, as most insults are, about regaining power and a sense of superiority over another person, as many of us do when feeling threatened, not unique to these people. Power in this case means fixing the person who is stepping out of line from your understanding of the world, who is shattering your illusion. It is also disrespectful and clear projection, because you are trying to make them your tool in your world by insisting that they conform and bending them back into the shape you think they should exhibit, even though they are, by their own volition, choosing otherwise. This turned into a super long footnote, so I thought I should pause the video and say it out loud. I also wanted to add even more by pointing out that it is incredulous to someone because it clashes with their belief system. So the situation just doesn't make sense to them. And so they have to relegate that person from a human being to a tool. So they kind of like delete them. They delete the information that is coming towards them, because it's interfering too much with how they think the code of the world, I guess, runs on a normal day. And so they can delete that evidence that is saying otherwise. And I think everybody does this. Most of us live in an illusion. But I feel particularly about this one because I just hate people boxing someone in like this, and because I'm not used to it and have only really experienced it here. But I'm going to continue the sentence now, and the video will start moving again, so that you don't have to actually think through their logic and try and understand why they see the world differently from you, which is usually something very value based, and not the arguments itself, but they prioritize a different value from you. Now, for some people like Omarosa, who I assume has a pretty high self-esteem and tough skin, she can handle that. But there are people out there who maybe have to hide who they are and keep all of their opinions to themselves. They are people too. And when you do that and talk to them like that and pretend that they are just instruments to be used by another person and completely disregarding their own agency and thought processes, that's very hurtful. And I wanted to make this video to point that out, especially perhaps to younger people. And it will also come back around because they're probably also going to get angry and find some other way to express that. And it's probably going to be in another hurtful way to people like you who treated them badly in the past. So just remember that when you're making those kinds of statements to another person. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little thought analysis. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to have you back again. Have a great day. Goodbye.